So in last week's video, we tested this PC and it did really well. But unfortunately, even due to this amazing open air case, which has a lot of ventilation, it has a lot at the front here, at the top, very big holes. But unfortunately, it still ran very hot. Now, that is for a couple of reasons. One, we're working in an enclosed space if you're putting this in a cabinet. Two, the airflow isn't really happening because we don't really have fans, and I think those ones there are a giveaway. And you know, apart from that, there's of course the graphics card, which is overheating, and that is because it's a second-hand graphics card. It might have been used for mining, it might just be a little bit old, and it's overheating. It's running sometimes up to 90 degrees Celsius, and that is obviously going to be a drawback in terms of performance. So to help this situation, we are going to be putting fans into this PC first and foremost, and secondly, we are going to be putting thermal pads inside the graphics card. And we're going to do these things and we're going to see if it helps and how much it helps. And to help us with this, we do have these beauties, which are CyberDyne fans. Now these are the CZK1272, and CyberDyne have been kind enough to send me 4 of these, and I'm very excited to use them. So this is quite a premium fan. It has the vibration dampening little corners there, which help a lot with noise, of course, and obviously with vibration. They are very solid. They feel really sturdy. They have a braided cable. I don't know if you can see that there, which is pretty premium. And apart from that, overall it just looks really nice. I think if you're doing a non-RGB build, this is perfect for this kind of thing. So I'm going to put a link in the description to get some of these, and check out CyberDyne, especially if you're in South Africa, and send them some love. Thank you to them for sponsoring this video. So the fans are going to go into the case, 2 in the front, 2 at the top, and that's obviously going to create a good airstream where the fans pull in air from the front and they go out through the top there. And to sort of make this easier to control, because these are PWM fans, we are going to be using one of these, which is just a fan controller. So you take one fan header, put it in your motherboard, and the rest just goes into this. And something that's nice about these fans are that you can use either your normal 3-pin fan ports, or you can do Molex power, which you're not going to have PWM control with that, but you can daisy chain Molex to save on, if you don't have enough of these ports on your motherboard and you don't have something like this, you can daisy chain Molex. You're not going to be able to control the fans, but they're just going to run at their default speed. But if you do want to control these, because they are PWM fans, you can just put them into the 3-pin ports on your motherboard, or use one of these and then just control that pin specifically through the motherboard. So other than that, we are going to be cooling the graphics card, and we're going to be doing that by replacing the thermal pads. Now it's quite a simple process, but it can be risky to do. So if you are going to do something like this, just make sure to be careful when disassembling the graphics card, because these RTX cards are quite expensive. Even though it is only a 2nd-gen card, it is still a 2070 and it is still an expensive card. So be careful with these, but replacing the thermal pads every couple of years is a good idea, and just cleaning the card, getting all of that old dust and some of that sticky debris out of there. And lastly, I do have one of these, which is just a graphics card holder, which is just going to separate that graphics card a little bit and provide a little bit more space, and of course keep it in place. And these are quite simple. You just screw it out to the height that you need, and when you have that height, that's it. You just put it under the graphics card. It has a magnet on both ends, and that's really all you need to do. So that's going to be what we're going to do in this video. Firstly, we're going to put in these fans, and we're going to see how much the temps cool down. We will do the graphics card, and we will put in that graphics card holder as well. So once again, thank you to CyberDyne for sponsoring the video. Let's get this PC cold. Alright, so the fans are in, as you can see. So we have the 4 fans. At the top we have fans that are extracting air out. In the front we have fans that are bringing air in. Now these fans are quite powerful. These are the CyberDyne fans, as I said before, and they are going to do a really good job. These are connected by a connector that is connected to a 3-pin port there. Let me turn the PC to show you, and then that goes over there, and then all the fans go into the port there. Now I haven't done any cabling yet, so it's very untidied, but you can see there the fans, the cables come through back, and then they connect into that fan controller, which is connected to the system 1 fan port on the motherboard over there, and it runs back there. So that's going to be it for the fan situation. This is going to help a lot with cooling. Next up, we are going to remove the graphics card, and we are going to take it apart, clean it, and then we are going to put some new thermal pads on it. Let's do it. So, as you can see, the card is in decent condition, but it is quite dirty, and you can see that a lot of this thermal paste has dried up, and you can see there's a lot of dust trapped in between these old thermal pads. Now, this card doesn't have a lot of thermal pads, but the little that it has we are going to replace, and we are going to get this cleaned up and looking new, and hopefully through doing that we are going to improve the temperatures a lot. So let's get going. actually check the performance that we are sort of, that we are experiencing here, because if you look at those temperatures, it is a much improved situation. Not just 5 or 6 degrees, but we are talking 20, 22, 23 degrees colder. So it is a massive increase, decrease in terms of temperatures. I mean, we were at 87, 88, sometimes approaching 90, and right now we are at 61 degrees Celsius. Now, a lot of that is due to the fact that we replaced the thermal pads on that GPU, but more than that, we repasted the GPU, and apart from that, we also, of course, installed these CyberDyne fans, and these fans are making a massive difference. If you take a look at that CPU temperature, I mean, we are still on the Rave Stealth cooler from AMD, the stock cooler, and even though we are still on that cooler, the CPU has gone from get off it's stuck. Well, I guess that's life now. The CPU has literally gone from, wow, this game is chaos right now. Gone from also around 90 degrees, on the CPU, and now the CPU isn't even reaching 60 degrees, and we didn't do anything to the CPU. So that's due to these CyberDyne fans that are working so well. And now that might also be due to the fact that the graphics card isn't generating as much heat, so I think that helps the situation, because when the system is cold, the CPU is going to be colder, and it's definitely made a massive difference if you look at it. So I mean, the GPU has gotten a little bit hotter. It's approaching 70 degrees now. Now that we've been playing for a few minutes, but 70 degrees is still fine, especially when you come from basically 90 degrees. So what is D going on about? So yeah, I mean, it's made a massive difference. That's the short answer. It's made a really big difference. The GPU is probably going to max out at around 70 degrees, and the CPU isn't even reaching 60. And while I think the GPU improvement is massive, 20 degrees colder, it's the CPU that has shocked me, because the CPU was also running at like 85 degrees most of the time, and we didn't do anything to the CPU, and yet it's so much colder now, and that can only be due to the CyberDyne fans. So yeah, these fans are obviously working really well, and I'm super impressed with them. Okay, so I would say that was a success. Let's talk about it. Now, what a difference that has made. We have gone from literally, on the CPU, we've gone from 85 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees Celsius. On the GPU, we've gone from, sometimes 90 degrees Celsius to 65 to 70 degrees Celsius, which is just such an improvement. On the system inside, it hovers around like 45 degrees. So it's just insane what a good, set of fans will do for a computer that is having heating problems. Now, we did repaste the graphics card. I was going to upgrade the CPU cooler, but now honestly I don't know if that's necessary anymore, because if we are getting under 60 degrees Celsius while gaming, what's the point in buying an upgrade? I thought to myself, a 2700X is going, the TDP, the power draw, is too high for a little cooler like this, because this is the stealth cooler, which is meant for the lower end Ryzens. And I thought, okay, I'm going to have to upgrade that. Don't want to hurt the CPU by having it run too hot all of the time. But apparently it's not an issue. I mean, apparently that upgrade isn't going to be necessary. So, these CyberDyne fans, which we have 2 at the top and two at the front, as you can see there. They have just made such a difference. It's crazy what these fans have done for this computer, and I just want to say thank you to CyberDyne for sponsoring the video. If you need some new fans, check out CyberDyne. I'm going to link them below in the description, and I'll put a little thing up on the screen that shows their links. So thank you to them for sponsoring this video, and good job to them because it has made a massive difference. So check out CyberDyne if you can, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.